Well, hello everybody. How y'all doing? Glad to see you and glad you tuned in. Come on in, get yourself a seat because I want you to lean in with Commissioner Henri E. Brooks. I have a wonderful guest today. Well, let me just say this to y'all. It is a wonderful day outside. I feel great. And most of all, I just had another birthday.
Yeah.
And I'm so happy about that. But also, this is an exciting time here in Shelby County. We have the primary, May primary coming up. And that's why my guest is so special because he is the chairman of the Shelby County Democratic Party. And he's a busy man right now, but he
Yes.
took some time out, and I thank you, Mr. Simon, for taking some time out from all that you have to do, and I can imagine, uh, just to talk with us, to help us be aware of some things we need to know in terms of being ready for May 5th. You know,
Yes.
we need to get the volunteers ready.
That's right.
We need to get candidates ready,
That's
and
right.
I'm sure some people want to know how can I help. So let's start off with community engagement. What are some of the community engagement strategies that the party's going to use
Okay.
uh, to make sure volunteers can help?
So one of the things, and to your point, I am very excited about what's happening in Shelby County right
Mhm.
now because we have so many individuals that want to be involved in our election process.
Yes, we do.
We have a lot of candidates. We have a lot of, and with candidates comes followers. With followers, we have campaign workers. All of
Mhm.
these people are involved, so we feel really good about that. One of the things that we want to make sure is that we take advantage of the opportunity to start educating voters
Okay.
so they can understand what that process is
So
about.
when you say educate voters, I mean that my ears just went bing
Yes,
because
ma'am.
that's what I've been focusing on,
Yes,
trying
ma'am.
to help voters understand the importance of showing up during early voting
Yes, ma'am.
or on election day, because that's where you make your opinion,
Right.
your voice count. I mean, that's where you say what you want. But in that process of voter, people going to the polls, voter education, how do we how do we let people know how important it is to attend forums and find out who you learn about the candidates so you'll know that there's an alignment between your concerns and that candidate's concerns. Can you talk about that?
Yes, ma'am. So I like to use analogies when I speak about
Mhm.
things like this.
Mhm.
When you go to the grocery store
Right.
and you're shopping and you say, "Hey, I want to make a cake,"
Mhm.
and you're walking down the aisle and you're looking for many different products to help make
Right.
your cake. And as you're walking and you have a specific cake mix that you want to use,
Mhm.
but you don't know anything about, you see other cake mixes that are right next to the one that you're used to. And you have to take the time to evaluate what the ingredients are in those products to make sure that they have the ingredients to make the cake that you
Make
want to
the
make,
cake that you want.
the,
Right,
the
right,
cake
right.
that you want. And so when you're starting to look, and you know how it is in the grocery aisle, they're going to put all the best and brightest up there. It's going to have the pretty
Mhm.
boxes, but you know what a particular cake tastes like because you've been using this particular cake mix for a long
Mhm.
time. But now, when you start looking at these other boxes, there may be some innovations in the flavors and some different variations
Mhm.
that you
Mhm.
may want to try. And then you might say, "Oh, this says it's organic. I'm trying to be on a health kick."
Right,
And then you
right,
might
right.
say, "Hey, I need to read more about that." And I say that to say that you need to do that with every political platform that you're trying to engage with every politician that you're
Mhm.
evaluating, with those people that say they want to serve the community. You need to look at them the same way. You need
Mhm.
to take the time to evaluate, find
Right.
out exactly what they're talking about, and if it makes the cake that you want to make, then that's what you vote for. But if
Okay.
if, if it's slightly not where you need to be, then find out what other ingredients help make the cake that you want to make.
And when we talk about finding out other ingredients, when we're talking about candidates,
Hmm.
that means we'll have to leave the house,
Hmm.
get off the couch,
That's right.
and go to some of these forums.
That's right.
It's a little bit of sacrifice on our part, but in the end, it will make you a more educated, informed, and confident voter.
That's right.
And then once that person is elected, then you will have a person in the office who will, well, at least they said they were
Right.
going to take care of your concerns, and that's what we want. And I say this, I always ask, what are you going to do for me? It's nothing wrong with that.
That's right.
Because elected officials are your employees.
That's right.
And you are their employer. I mean, you go in that voting booth, push that button beside their name, you have employed them.
That's right.
So but again, you have to get off the couch and you got to go to some of these forums. I want to talk about one more thing related to that, these ballots that they pass out.
Mm-hmm.
What do you have to say about those?
What I have to say is, those ballots, people have to know what they are. I mean, if you see a ballot and it's promoted by whatever ballot that you pick up, it's your job to evaluate those candidates on that ballot. Now, the ballot serves as a tool for you to look at and determine who you vote for, and you may see the same names on the ballot that you have been considering. But I think the ballot in itself is not the thing that you should be using to guide you.
It's not a substitute for you attending forums
Exactly.
and getting your firsthand knowledge and being able to ask those candidates those questions.
Exactly.
Don't just use that as your sole means of picking a candidate.
I totally agree with that. I think in anything, it's just like when you start looking at cars or anything that you're trying to buy, you don't just go look at a brand and say, well, because every car in this brand, I like the Camry, but all these other cars, I just assume all of them are good because they're on the Toyota lot. Then you might find out this is not a Camry. It's not as good as a Camry.
Right.
Or this is too small and it doesn't fit my need, even though it's on the Toyota lot. You just have to go out there and do your real evaluation.
There you go. Kick the tires, right?
Kick the tires. And I think ballots are good because it brings you a concise place to look. And it's convenient for you to look at that. But after that, you need to still kick the tires on each one of those people that appear on those ballots.
Have your own independent knowledge. But I know your time is very limited. So let me pivot to let's go on and talk about it. Voter suppression.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, I want to go there because we're hearing a lot, particularly on the national news, about the fact that Donald Trump, that fellow, he's afraid he's going to lose the House in 26 in the November elections. So according to the national news, he's going to cheat because he doesn't want to lose, because if he loses the House, he'll lose the Senate. Well, he'll lose the House, he'll be impeached, then he loses the Senate. Then of course, he'll won't win the presidency, and then of course he's going to jail.
Right.
Now this is me talking.
Yeah. Well, we all have opinions around that. So I get it.
But let me ask you this: now they're also saying that we on the local level need to be aware of some abnormalities, particularly here in Memphis. We got the National Guard here. We have all these other masked people here. And I'm hearing that some of them may be used to intimidate voters.
Right.
Are we preparing for any kind of aggression or any kind of intimidation like that on May 5th, and even during early voting, those 10 days?
Yeah, well, what we anticipate is we're trying to put the fire under people to let them understand that whenever you come out in masses, nothing can stop the power of the people. And so what we want to do is make sure that the 150,000 people that have been dubbed as inactive voters, that we engage them to come out and participate in an election. Those that, we had a low election turnout in even the last presidential election, where we had approximately 600,000 people that were registered, only about 351,000 that voted. And so that means that a bunch of people said, hey, I went ahead and signed the paperwork to come here, but they didn't execute.
And why is that? That is so problematic. I hear people talking about voter registration, and just the numbers you just cited
Mm-hmm.
says that we have people registered to vote.
Right.
Our problem is that those who are registered do not see or do not prioritize going to vote.
Right. Right.
So, number one, what do you think may be the reason? And number two, how can we get them to go vote?
So for me, I think it's all about engagement. Uh, I think the process of saying, "Hey, you're registered,"
Mm-hmm.
but you leave it at that, and we're excited about the registration.
Yeah.
But that's just like being excited about your kid registering to go to school, but they don't show up first day of school.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I mean, because you have to execute on that whole process in order for it to be really worth anything.
Mm-hmm.
And so one of the things that we have to do is start going back to those people and find out and try to trigger the same feeling that impelled them, that compelled them to go ahead and fill out the paperwork, not by peer pressure,
Right.
but by giving them some knowledge around why they did what they did, and remind them, if you're compelled to do this, you need to go ahead and be compelled to go ahead and execute on election day. Because and then I like showing people numbers. I like to show people that. Give you a prime example: the city election for the last mayoral race. We had about 80,000 people to participate in that, when we have a population of about 600,000. And so, and then the mayor, whoever was voted in at that particular time, whoever won that race had to get a portion of that 80,000, and that portion, the winning portion, was less than 30,000.
Yeah, not even yeah, right, not a mandate. Well,
Right, it's
that
not the
says a
majority.
lot.
I mean, it says a lot about the engagement.
Yeah, and what does it say about the candidate? And I want to ask this because we do have the county mayor on the ballot this time, and we have I forgot count. I've forgotten how many are in the race now. Is it
Yeah.
over 10?
Yeah. Well, when you consider the entire field, I think on the Democratic primary side,
On the Democrat primary.
yeah, they're about 7 or 8 or 9. The number, you're right, it escapes me right now. But I will say that, and then you have independents and you have Republicans vying
Yeah,
for that
absolutely.
position.
Yeah.
I think what happens is, after the primary, and because we have primaries, you won't have the same effect as what happens in the city mayor race,
Right.
because you eliminate some of those people. So you're going to have a 1-to-1 and maybe 3 people that are vying for a position, or 4 if you have another independent that jumps out there, because they don't have primaries. But nevertheless, I think those things have to be considered. We have to understand that in these races, numbers matter. And if you want to be counted and make sure that your voice is heard, you need to show up. Even with our mayor's race, back with the city mayor's race, I think when the best person that came out of that situation, they won their situation. Whoever showed up, they got the majority of the vote, and and that person is the mayor. And I think we have to support those people when they get in those positions, because what happens is the greater good of the people has to always move forward.
Absolutely.
I think people look
believe
at
in
numbers and say, well, only a few people did this, but the people that showed up felt like they felt strong enough in the particular candidate to push them there. And I think we have to get behind that and push it even further. But then along the way, we engage people to say, okay, if you didn't like this outcome, then now what we want you to do is participate for the next outcome.
Okay, engage people. Let me ask you this. So when we talk about engaging people, I go back to the time that I worked with Russell Sugarman and A.W. Willis, and we were using pencils and pens and doing precinct work, and having long sheets of paper and using those sheets of paper to go down each and every street. Precinct, grassroots organizing.
Yes, ma'am.
Where are we today with that? In terms of engaging, have we lost contact with the voters or with the citizens because we're not engaging or utilizing grassroots precinct voting?
I think
Canvassing, I should say.
I think canvassing is very important. I think one of the things that we've done is we try to replace it with some kind digital a digital replacement, and you
Yeah.
can never
No.
replace face to face with digital. I mean, you have to have some kind of skin in the game, as
Yeah.
you got to have some kind of ground game as it
Mm-hmm.
relates
Mm-hmm.
to trying to win a race. And I think one of the most important things we have to start doing is getting people to use all the tools, not just one tool, mail outs, not just text messaging,
Right.
not
Right.
just going out here in social media, but
Mm-hmm.
going out and actually meeting people, knocking on doors. I'm
Are we
excited to
doing
say,
that? Are we doing
I'm
that?
excited to say that I've seen that. I've seen a lot of
Mm-hmm.
that with these campaigns. I've seen a lot of people that are actually going out doing that work,
Okay.
and we plan to do that after this election, after this primary is over. The Democratic Party is going to do the same
Well,
thing.
that's what I was about to ask. So, what's the role of the party, Shelby County Democratic Party, during the primary? I know because we have so many Democrats running,
Hmm.
and so just you have to tiptoe a little bit.
Right? Yeah, we
So,
have to be
but
indifferent
what's your
about that.
role? How do you bring about collaboration between the elected officials, the candidates, and the activists during the primary?
Right. So during the primary season, what we try to do is let everybody have an equal voice.
Mm-hmm.
Give people an opportunity to come and present their case for trying to be the primary winner.
Mm-hmm.
And our job is to basically make sure that the field is even, give information to those that want to run, give them an opportunity to engage with the party at whatever
Mm-hmm.
level they need to engage with
Mm-hmm.
to promote their campaigns. I mean, we're having a prayer breakfast tomorrow.
Right.
One of the things that we're having events where these people can come and present their case to the public.
Mm-hmm.
We're having a forum. When you mentioned forum, we're having a forum on February 23rd, this Monday, for the mayoral candidates,
Mm-hmm.
and it's going to be at Mississippi Boulevard Christian Church at 6:30.
Mm-hmm.
And so
Mm-hmm.
one of the things that we're doing there is having people come and engage and actually do the hearing that you're talking about. You have to hear in order to
Mm-hmm.
execute,
Mm-hmm.
and we're trying to get that to a point to where we're have constant contact with our elected officials as well as the electorate,
Mm-hmm.
and making sure we become that conduit between the two.
Right.
Because one of the things that happens is people forget about that process in between. We look at, we had a campaign, then we had
Mm-hmm.
election day, and that's the end of the engagement.
Uh-huh.
The engagement should be it should be constant.
It really should. And I have to say now, this is the first election, and I've been in many,
Yes, ma'am.
but there are a number of forums going on, maybe because there's so many candidates in these races.
Yes.
Um, there are a number of county commission forums
Yes.
going on. You got your mayoral forums going on. And you got your sheriff um, candidate forums going on. So I'm proud that people are doing that, and I want to encourage you to show up.
Yes.
Go. People are putting their flyers on the internet. They're advertising these forums, and it's to your advantage to go there. Ask the questions that are on your heart.
That's right.
Ask them what are they going to do for you. Ask them why are they running. Ask them about their experience. It's important. What are their qualifications? What do they what can they tell you that they've done in the past that would convince you to vote for them? Every question that you have is an important question.
That's
And
right.
you need to, because your vote is important.
That's
It
right.
is so important. And you don't give it away. You don't give it away. Make sure you get those questions answered. So, Mr. Simon, I'm just, I'm just curious to know about just one more thing here,
Yes, ma'am.
maybe a little bit touchy.
Mm-hmm.
We talk about bona fides.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you talk for our audience who doesn't understand that word bona fide? Is it bona fide or bona fides?
Yeah, I think it's both.
Okay.
Tomato, tomato.
Okay.
And people pronounce it different ways, but I look at it as credentials.
Credentials. Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's just a different word for it. But what we like to do is make sure that we have alignment with those who say they want to run as a Democrat. I
Mhm.
think it's important. I think if you wanted to join any organization, they want to
Mhm.
make sure that there's an alignment between what you're trying to do in
Mhm.
the capacity of you trying to run for office and what that that particular organization stands
Mm-hmm.
for.
Mm-hmm.
And it's important that we have alignment and we have accountability.
Right.
And so I think when you have clear metrics to
Mm-hmm.
define exactly what you do as a party, and you have clear understanding of the alignment that you have
Mm-hmm.
with those that are trying to run in the party, then you can put together a strong leadership group that will actually not just become individuals, but
Mm-hmm.
have party power.
Right.
And that's what we're trying to build. We're trying to make sure that as a party that we build a coalition of people that can coalesce with one another and govern in the right way that promotes where we need to be.
And that's what's key. Making sure we have those candidates, those credential Democrats, if you will,
Mm-hmm.
because we're talking to the Democratic Party chair.
That's right.
And we want to make sure that they are credential Democrats. And if they are elected, when they're seated, we can hold them accountable.
That's right.
And they will be Democrats while they're holding the seat.
That's right.
Yeah. I don't want to get into any particulars, but I think it's important for us to be strong in that.
Yes.
And I think that needs to be made very clear.
Right.
Affirmatively clear.
Right.
On the very front end. And I don't believe we should be slack on that.
Absolutely not. One of the things that we see, even on a national and a state level, those that are the party that's in power make sure that people toe the party line. Mm-hmm. They make sure that those things are aligned, and they make sure that those who represent the majority are representing the majority.
Right.
And we should do the same here in Shelby County. If we're the majority on anybody, on any elected body, we should represent the majority.
Absolutely.
And the people that have elected us require us to do that. Mm-hmm. And so we will be holding people accountable for making sure that it's that the majority will rule the way they're supposed to rule.
Okay. Well, listen, I know that you got a lot going on.
Yes, ma'am.
And so we're glad you're here today. But just for those who are listening and glad you're here.
Yes, ma'am.
And they taking in every word. We just need to know on election day,
yes,
or during early voting, if we encounter some issues regarding that may look like suppression or it may look like intimidation. What do you tell your voters?
So what we're going to do is we're going to stand up some different ways to report that. We're going to stand up QR codes where people can go and scan and say, hey, this is what we had happen, so that we can deal with those things. We're going to also have a helpline, a hotline put into place so that we can have people to be able to call in. Those things will be on the Shelby County Democratic Party website.
Okay.
And we're going to put it on our social media. We're also going to engage civic organizations and churches to have that information out there for them.
That's where that precinct organizing come in.
Exactly. And I'm glad you mentioned that, because what I introduced to the party for the first time is a district caucus model that we're implementing to where every executive committee member engages the people in their community. They build this district caucus. And that way you have a full engagement from the precinct level all the way to the party.
Year round.
Yes, ma'am.
And people are engaged, they're educated, they're informed, so you don't have a mad rush leading up to any particular election, whether it's primary, general, or what have you.
Right.
Okay, well, great. Mr. Simon, I thank you so much. This has been so informative.
Yes, I appreciate
and I'm
it.
looking forward to these days leading up to early voting,
Yes,
these
ma'am.
days leading up to May 5th.
Yes, ma'am.
And I'm sure that you'll be on top of where these early voting sites, will be situated.
We plan to have active people on the ground. We're going to coordinate with some of these groups that are that can expand our bandwidth, because we can't do it by ourselves.
Right.
But we have groups that are out there that will be monitoring this situation, and we will be amplifiers for whatever they see.
Good.
Yep.
Thank you so much.
Yes,
Listen,
ma'am.
I appreciate you.
Thank you so much.
Listen, oh my goodness, my mic. Thank you all for thank you all for leaning in with Commissioner Henri E. Brooks. You can catch this podcast anywhere you find a podcast. I'll be there. I want you to check us out. I'm so glad you came. Thank you. Y'all have a good day.
Thank you.